Oh my goodness, you are so sweet. I really appreciate that you said that. Hey, I've got to make a video here for my medallion hunt. It's time to kick that contest off. Been great talking to you, and I know we'll visit again soon. Thanks for calling, Mrs. Robinson. Just talking to an old friend of mine. Hey, welcome to the first day of the medallion hunt. Let's get going here. I'd like to talk about some things that I wonder about in my classroom all the time. The bonus is you're going to get a clue or two here, maybe, if you're listening carefully. And you'll also learn a thing or two maybe about literature. I tell my students every single year, every class, it's really important, whether it's real life or a story, to pay attention to inanimate objects. You could think, for instance, about that special drawer where you've got things stored that are important to you. Now you know what I'm talking about. Inanimate objects, small or large, can radiate wetness. They can almost have a kind of consciousness. And I think of Anton Chekhov in the presence of this idea, who once famously said, if you pick up a novel and you observe a gun hanging on the wall, sometime during that story, that gun has got to go off. It's a rule. I talk about setting a lot in my classrooms too, and how the setting is really more than the setting. The setting is darn near a character in some stories. It too has a kind of wetness, a kind of consciousness, and it needs to be paid attention to. When I think about settings, I often think about the elements, especially if the literature is ancient, the stuff I like, ancient Greece and Rome, and the medieval period too. Settings calls us, I think, to think about the elements, the four elements. And one of the things that you're going to have to do to win this contest is figure out which of the four elements is my favorite. You might even have to talk to a few of my students about that. For certain, fire is important to me. It is such a comfort. Every night, and I just put some oak in my wood stove a few minutes ago. Some people watch TV at night. I watch my wood stove. We have the idea of water, too, which has been important to me forever, ever since I was a little boy. I live on a beautiful little lake down here, about an hour south of Brainerd, and it's a big deal to me. I'm on that lake every night on the tiniest, crappiest pontoon in the entire state of Minnesota. I think, too, of the river of my boyhood, most important river in the world, the Mississippi. I can't see it from my library office or E339, where I hold court most days, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but I know that that river is right there, going by me. You could think of air, too. This is time of year where my students are just getting so tuckered out by the cold air that I have to remind them, be thankful, have gratitude for how clean the air is in the Brainerd Lakes region. Some days there's hardly any particulate matter in that air, cold, clean air coming out of the Arctic. And we have the idea of ground too. I think of the topography of the terrain that I get to drive through. I love central Minnesota. And I love it deeply when I'm driving up to Brainerd Monday, Wednesday, Friday, my commute. I think of my own property. Here's a pic of my 20 acres, at least from the north anyway. So good luck. You might have to, I don't think there's any clues around the college either, like how would anyone know what my favorite element is. And this one's not that easy to talk about, but as I've gotten older, there's been kind of a side effect. At this point in my life, my brain is so powerful that sometimes I'll think a word and it just appears in thin air around me. This can be kind of hard on my students because I'm coming at them with language, trying to talk to them about the things that I'm so passionate about, and there's like words floating in the air. This can happen when I'm teaching. It happened to me a few times this morning when I was snowshoeing in my peat bog. It happens a lot when I am playing guitar, just kind of relaxing and playing guitar. Maybe we could see it happen. Maybe it'll happen. I don't know. Let's cross your fingers. Oh, where the heck is that medallion? It's got to be somewhere around our school. Ooh, and you're confused by all my weirdo clues. You want to win, but most of you will lose. Lose. Most of you will lose. I love you guys. Good luck.